Hola, SAP developers. Welcome to this session, part of the TOEFL 2025 integration track. Before we start, please feel free to drop us your questions on the chat window as we'll be monitoring it, and we will answer some of your questions there, some of their questions live. Today, we have Fini and Prashant, who are part of the SAP Integration Suite product management team. This session will be a bit different as we will have a bit of a discussion panel. So we hope you like it. But first, let's start with introductions. Hola, Fini, Prashant. How about you introduce yourselves to our viewers?
Great. Thanks, Antonio, and happy to be part of this live stream. I am Fini. I am part of the product management team for SAP Integration Suite, focusing on AI topics. I also work on the Edge integration cell and also UX-related topics in Integration Suite. And yeah, we will take you through the AI capabilities and discuss the questions around that.
Thanks, Antonio. Hello, everyone. This is Prashant Gautam. I'm part of product management team of Integration Suite, specifically looking into AI topics.
Okay, so well, as you can see, we have two AI experts in the SAP Integration Suite arena here. And well, we hear a lot about AI these days. It's impossible to avoid it, right? And you can see it basically just in the number of sessions that are part of the TOEFL that embed within their talk the AI topic in one way or another. So we hear about Joule Studio, agents, business AI, but how does the AI topic, business AI, and SAP Integration Suite come together? Uh, Fini, can you tell us a bit about this, about how we can bring the power of AI to the world of integration?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Antonio, for the question. Let me also share my screen and then go into the details. So basically, what I want to do was to also give a quick introduction about Integration Suite and then also talk about business AI, because that's also the question that you asked. So Integration Suite is an enterprise integration platform as a service. I'm sure all the people who are joined here know about it already, but just to quickly recap, right? So it is a very comprehensive and holistic platform, integration platform, which provides different capabilities like cloud integration, API management, event mesh, and the others, and it covers almost all the areas of integration that an enterprise would need, right? If you want to do an API-led integration, if you want to do event-based integration, or you want to do process integration, and if your integration scenarios are spanning across on-prem to cloud or cloud to on-prem or cloud to cloud integration scenarios, we cover almost all of these capabilities with all the capabilities that we offer. We also have a huge set of pre-packaged content that we deliver with the SAP Business Accelerator Hub, which can be leveraged by customers to kickstart their integration journey. We have around 250 plus connectivity options, offering non-SAP integration possibilities, right? So many times customers feel that integration suite is SAP integration platform or SAP to SAP integration platform, but I want to also break that myth that integration suite is a platform which can serve any to any integration, right? We offer around 250 plus connectivity option and technical adapters which you can connect to any applications out in the landscape of the customer, right? We also have B2B standards that are supported like ANSI X12, EDIFACT, GS1, all these standards that are available that you can use to create or build your integration scenarios. And all these are part of the cloud-based integration suite. What we also recently have added is the Edge integration cell, which is an on-prem integration platform or runtime that you can deploy within your private landscape so that you are able to run your on-prem to on-prem integration scenarios or run the scenarios which you don't or cannot move to cloud because of compliance reasons, right? So that's basically quickly covering what is integration suite. And this integration suite, what we are also trying to do is now making it AI powered and AI driven, right? With all the AI capabilities that we are infusing within integration suite. And this is where business AI comes to support integration suite, right? So also to quickly introduce business AI. So business AI is is a platform that is offered to customers, right, where we have a lot of capabilities that is offered. So if you see in this picture at the bottom, SAP has partnered and has also invested into many of these best of breed large language model vendors like Anthropic, like Google Cloud, like Microsoft, OpenAI, and the others. And SAP offers AI Foundation on Business Technology Platform, or BTP, which offers a set of comprehensive tools to connect to these large language models. And some of these tools also are like, if you want to do orchestration, if you want to do prompt templating, if you want to do masking or data masking. So all these capabilities are inbuilt within AI Foundation with Generative AI Hub. And once you use this AI Foundation, so we can basically leverage all of these tools that is available and then connect to these large language models, right? And if you see at the top, we have SAP applications, right? Whether it is human HCM, whether it is customer experience, whether it is BTP, all of these products within SAP also are building embedded AI capabilities and they basically leverage AI Foundation and thereby connecting to the large language models that is offered with the AI Foundation and Business AI. Yeah. And similarly, Integration Suite also leverages Business AI and AI Foundation underneath to connect to one of these large language models. And what we also do is we can pick and choose these large language models based on the use case, right? So every use case could be offered or could be served by a different large language model based on the quality of response or based on the response that we get from each of these large language models, right? We're also building a lot of agents. So you see at the top here, so within SAP, there are a lot of agents being built by SAP products. And similarly, Integration Suite is also building agents within Integration Suite. We will also talk about it. So these agents also leverage AI Foundation and thereby connecting to the large language models. And at the top is Joule, which is the co-pilot or the super orchestrator across across products in SAP. So you can leverage Joule to also, trigger agents or trigger AI capabilities and ask any questions that you have within any of the SAP products. And similarly, we are also working on bringing Joule within Integration Suite, and that is how all of these would come together, where we have Business AI and the power of Business AI within Integration Suite. Yeah, I hope that answered your question, Antonio.
That definitely cover a lot of things. So you just yeah, there's many things that we can explore, right? But you know what? So let's see. Well, the TOEFS, as you know, is an event for developers by developers, right? So tell us, Prashant, for example, as an integration developer, which AI functionality part of SAP Integration Suite can I leverage to increase my productivity now?
Yes, thank you, Antonio. So, developer productivity is actually the most visible area where AI is transforming integration platform as a service. And developer productivity here in this case will be helping developers to really get their ideas to reality faster, right? So imagine you are building an integration between a SAP and non-SAP system. Traditionally, you will go to the modeler where you will drag and drop something, you'll create some connections, you will create mappings and everything else. But with the new integration suite that we are working on, which is enabling the AI part of it, will have capabilities built into the integration suite in a way that it will assist you in every step, right? And let's start with some of the features that we already have with us. For example, Joule in Business Accelerator Hub already helps you to really explore Business Accelerator Hub for its content, get recommendations out of it. We already had a couple of more features which are ML based available as flow step recommendations, and also recommendations in interfaces and mapping, which you know as mix and max, right? So these are the features which are already available, but I would like to really highlight some of the couple of features which we are working on. For example, integration flow generation, wherein if you are in integration suite now, you will get a capability wherein you can write in plain language, describe your integration flow or integration scenario, wherein integration suite will develop or will generate automatically an integration flow for you, which will have triggers, mapping steps, which will have mediation logic for you. This means that you are moving from idea to prototype in minutes, and this will save lots and lots of manual effort that you have. Besides that, what you get is that you also adhere to the integration best practices, which are built in along with this feature, which you can really have uh, coming up out of the box for this feature, right? So let's go through the demo where we see that, okay, there is a scenario where integration developer is really looking to consolidate the employee data, and he wants to do this on a regular basis, meaning he wants to do it at night, 2 o'clock. Go ahead, Finny, just play it around. I'll take it forward from there. So he wants to do a lot of things, like he wants to fetch data systems like SuccessFactor. He wants to enrich the data of leave request. He wants to assign the assets to the employee, and also finally encrypt and send this data to the finance system. So what he does right now is he explains this in the natural language, and the system or the feature that we are building in will give you a full summary of it, saying that what system has understood from your description. It will take you through whatever it is understood and try to summarize it. And then when you are okay with that, you can really go ahead and say generate the flow, right? And once you click on that, it'll take a little bit of time to really convert whatever you it has understood into the flow diagram. And once you are done with that, you will get a flow diagram. Obviously, you can really have a real layouting around it, and you can see that, okay, the process or the flow starts with the trigger. It actually fetches the data. It enriches in 3 steps from 3 different receivers, and then it encrypts the data as well, and also sends the data via mail. So everything is done in a fly with a natural language input. So this is one of the major steps that we are working on. As Fini mentioned earlier, we are also working towards enabling this through Joule. So in future, you will also have some of these features and most of these features through Joule, where you can generate your integration flows, writing in your natural language description, and interacting with the system. And in future, you might even go ahead and edit these flows using Joule. So this is one part of it, right? And then other part which I wanted to take you through is um, AI adapter. So what we have today is like all the integration flows that we see today are static and deterministic, meaning you say that, okay, this step will be followed by this step, or this step is pre-processed by this step. So everything is either static and deterministic, which are used for having moving the data, transforming payloads, handling predefined exceptions, and all these things. But if you are going uh, with today's environment, we require a dynamic environment where actually the flows can think, adapt, and really decide on what should be the future direction, right? So what we are doing now is to introduce a new adapter, which is called AI adapter, which has or which brings the cognitive behavior into your integration flows. And what does this do is, like, you can really interpret the process, the message context. You can summarize, you can classify, you can translate, you can extract the data from the logs, from error traces, from the message context, such that it actually can help you process the further flows. And this is actually taking away a lot of limitation that we had with machines and bringing that cognitive intelligence into it. And this with this, what happens is that there are some technical use cases which we can really handle it. For example, error resolution flow. You can summarize the error that you are getting. You can summarize the exceptions that you are getting. You can classify like sentiments. You can get the negative sentiment out of the message and then try to really control your flow. You can even translate, you can extract, and you can even go ahead and use this as a real-time RAG use case or RAG ingestion flow. All these things are possible. What is the technical scope that we are looking at for this is basically has 3 flavors. You can have bring your own LLM. That is how we started with, and we said, okay, if you have your LLM, you will have to take care of all the life cycle of your AI use case. But what we are providing along with that is that you can also use the LLMs available in GenAI Hub, right? And this will give you the enterprise-ready LLMs for you, which you can directly access, and also provide abstraction to the AI use case lifecycle. For example, you can have your prompt management done in orchestration workflow of a generative AI Hub, right? You can do masking, right? And you can have prompt templates. Finally, also what you can do is you can configure your LLM as well without touching the integration flow, right? So this is the benefit that you get. But if you are still not happy with that, what we can provide and we provide today is that we ride on the GenAI Hub capabilities. You can bring your own LLM, use the custom AI, deploy that LLM in GenAI Hub, and then expose it to Integration Suite, and you can use it that way as well. So all the possibilities are there that you can use AI adapter in your own way, whatever suits you. The only prerequisite that we have is that you should have a AI core plan for extended plan. That's the only thing that you need, and then you can basically go over use it. So these were the two highlight of the developer productivity use cases that we have today. And yeah, I imagine and I feel that I've answered your question.
Yeah, definitely. It's very interesting. I really like, for example, how when generating the flow, like in the flow generator, you can see that it actually selected the right adapters for the right system that you
Yeah.
were communicating, right? Like in your prompt, you mentioned success factors. Now, one question that came to my mind is like these systems that you're interacting with, that you're generating this flow for. Do they need to be registered in my system landscape in BTP, or is that not really needed?
I did not get your question,
So
Antonio.
you know how in BTP cockpit
Mm.
you have the system landscape, right?
Yeah.
So do the systems that I can do they need to be registered there for?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay, I got it. So it has to be in the unified customer landscape to
yeah,
get that proposal from the feature, right?
okay,
Otherwise, you can manually do it, right? So from
okay,
generation of integration suite flow perspective, yes, if you have UCL configured, if you have your formulations there, then the feature will automatically take that information and really show that systems as sender and receiver from there. Yeah, so that is possible. In
nice,
fact, in
yeah,
fact, we have the AI adapter demo, which I can really show you also, which is not very different from all the other adapters that we have. Meaning, you just have to drag and drop the connection, and you will get the options as you get for any other adapter. You choose that adapter, and then you can decide whether you want to use GenAI Hub or your own LLM, and then you can even configure it in the property sheet the way as I mentioned that you can really have your own orchestrator there, which actually exposes a URL to you, and then you can really have your credentials assigned to it, and then inside that you can actually provide your input, right? And this input could be from the message context. And then it helps you really get all the power that you want to have in your deterministic flow as a non-deterministic or probabilistic step inside it.
yeah, that's very cool. Actually, seeing this deep integration with AI core and all that Gen AI functionality is very cool because in the end, you don't really want to be messing around with prompts here, right? Like the right place for you to have your prompts is in Gen AI Hub. So you go
Yeah.
there and do that. So yeah, reusing that, it's fantastic, I would say. Cool. Okay, so. All right. Let's say that I'm using Gen AI to generate my flow. I end up tweaking it and adapting it to my needs. I deploy it, everything. I test it, obviously, and then I deploy it. But then after my development is done, obviously I need to do some monitoring about it, right? So, Fini, is there any AI capability that can help us with the monitoring and with
Yeah,
the operations,
yeah.
of our integrations.
Yeah, sure. So with regards to operational excellence, we like Prashant shared about developer productivity. Similarly, what we are also doing is investing a lot in ensuring that there are AI-driven capabilities that help customers with achieving operational excellence, right? And there are a few capabilities that I will talk about. First one is the script optimization. And here the idea is that it is AI powered script optimization, basically providing you recommendations on Groovy script. So what we have done is we have grounded the large language model that we use for this use case with the best practices and the design guidelines that we have to provide customers to build these scripts that they have. So this feature can also be used when you're starting with the script creation, or it can also be used when you already have an existing script, right? So if there is an existing script that you have within your integration flow, you can open that and try this script optimization feature to get recommendations to where it can identify the hotspots and also provide you recommendations on resource consumption related optimizations, right? And the whole idea of script optimization actually came up from a real situation that happened within Integration Suite. So there was one customer tenant which was actually getting degraded with performance. So there was a lot of memory exhaustion that was happening. And when we actually did the root cause analysis, we found that there was a script which was causing this, which was badly designed. It was consuming a lot of resources of the tenant, and hence it was creating this kind of issue, right? So based on that experience, this optimization feature was built and also now is available within Integration Suite. Yeah. How this works, like maybe I can show you a demo. So in this situation or in this scenario, I have a memory exhaustion that is happening. So here you can see that in my Integration Suite tenant where I have inspect, I see that there is a memory exhaustion that is happening or detected. And if I go into the details of the inspect tool, I can navigate to that specific integration flow that is causing this issue. So here you can see that this integration flow called financial data consolidation is consuming a lot of memory. And if I go into the details of that integration flow, I also see that there is a Groovy script that is available. And if I open that, I see that there is an AI-driven optimized button that is available on the top, right? So let me click on this one. If I click on this, I can get recommendations on how I can optimize this script, right? So again, based on best practices and design guidelines to optimize your script with regards to resources, right? So for example, if you see the recommendations that are offered here are like excessive memory in this particular code snippet or inefficient string concatenation that is happening here, something like that. So all these recommendations are offered to the integration developer, and integration developer can pick and choose which of these recommendations they want to adopt and then copy it on the left side, and then they can basically go ahead with deployment of your integration flow or the script. But what we also offer is at the bottom an entirely improved script. Basically adopts all these recommendations by AI and then is offered as an improved script at the bottom. So the customer or the integration developer can, take that entire script as well and then use that for the script that they have, right? So basically copy the whole thing from the improved script to the left side. And then with this, they can just save it and deploy this integration flow. And in this situation, if you see, after I have done this once, I can click on the optimize again and see that, okay, there are no more optimization available. That means it is already optimized. Now, when I deploy it, over a period of time, I see that there is this memory exhaustion issue has been resolved, right? So this helps customers identifying these hotspots, specifically with regards to Groovy script, and you can leverage the feature of script optimization to identify these hotspots and, improve or optimize your scripts to ensure that your tenant or tenant's resources are being used efficiently. Right? That's one feature. The other feature that we have also released is the anomaly detection. And this is for your APIs that are deployed and running in your integration suite tenant, right? So there are a lot of times when customers have these APIs and they expect a consistent availability of these APIs and an optimal performance of these APIs over a period of time. And this anomaly detection feature, what it does is it continuously monitors all the APIs that are deployed on our integration suite tenant and checks for any deviation in the pattern that it is in the pattern that is available from the historical data, right? So what we do is we have trained our models to with the data that is, or the behavior of this API for a historical data, with the historical data for a period of time, and based on this historical data, it identifies if there are any deviations and then notifies the API owner about these deviations, right? So if you see, the deviations could be like if there is an increase in API traffic, there is a peak of API calls that is happening, or if there is an increase in the error count that is happening. So similarly, if there are any abnormal behaviors or abnormal activity to your APIs, then this is detected automatically by anomaly detection, and also there is a notification that is sent to the API owner, right? This is also something that I can show you as a demo. So here you can see that in my integration suite tenant, I have in my analytics tab, I can go and see that there is anomalies that are, there's an API anomaly section. And there I see that for this particular API sales order, there is an anomaly that is detected called API traffic increase, right? If I go into the details of that, I can see that there is an increase of this or on a particular day and time, there is a peak of API calls. And if you see the details here, you can see that this is around 60% increase in the API call that is happening, right? So you can, the details on the detail section shows that who is the API owner who will be notified about this anomaly. As soon as there is an anomaly detected, an email notification is sent to the API owner with the link to the integration suite tenant, and they can navigate to the integration suite tenant and the anomaly section to identify that and resolve that particular anomaly, right? So there are two ways you can resolve any anomalies that is detected. One is you can evaluate whether this is an expected anomaly or it was an unexpected anomaly, right? So in situations where you have, let's say, a sale that is happening, like a Black Friday sale happening on a particular day, right? So you expect the traffic to increase, right? So in that case, if there is an anomaly that is detected, you can come here and then on the right side, you will see that there is an evaluate button. You can click on that and say that, okay, it was an expected anomaly. So it was expected and it is all under control, right? But if it is an unexpected anomaly, you can then, go into the details and check the recommendations that is offered by anomaly detection. So we also offer or AI powered recommendations, which you can look at it. So some of these recommendations basically try to provide you suggestions on how you can avoid this kind of anomaly. Like you can change the policies, you can change the security policy. Situations like if there are malicious code trying to call your API, or there is a hacker attempt that is happening. So you can basically change your policy or authentication policy or the authorization policy to ensure that these APIs are under control and you take care of that, right? So that's basically anomaly detection. So if there are any abnormal behaviors of the APIs, then this is detected and sent to you as notification. Then you can act upon this, right? The next one, what we
Vinny,
also, yes.
just one quick question. We have a question from Naresh, and he's
Mhm.
asking if the API anomaly feature is available for all data centers and editions or only for premium or enterprise editions.
Yeah, that's a good question. So all AI capabilities that we talk about today mostly are available with the premium edition of Integration Suite, um, except the AI adapter, right? So the AI adapter is available also in standard edition, but others, all of them are like generation of iFlows, anomaly detection, API traffic prediction, script optimization. All of these are available only with the premium edition of Integration Suite tenant. Also because currently we are working on a commercial model, right? So for AI features, and once this commercial model is available, we will also roll out some of these features in other editions as well, right? And also to add one more part, so it is available with premium edition, but also there is a, I would say, fair usage limits, right? So for each of these capabilities, there is a fair usage limit and also a free offering for a limited period of time. So all these details, you will find it in our integration suite tenant and documentation.
Excellent.
Good. Yeah, the last one that I wanted to talk about on the operational excellence is the API traffic prediction. Similar to the anomaly detection, what it does is it looks at historical data, and if there deviations, it provides this information and notification. API prediction is also something similar. It also looks at all the historical data and then provides you trends and also prediction on how this API traffic would behave in the future, right? So you can use this feature to basically look at how your APIs would behave in the next week or 30 days or 90 days. So the prediction provides you insight of trends and predictions for up to 90 days in future. So this can basically be helpful if you want to plan your resources, right? So if there is a, for example, again, yeah, if there is a travel, if you have a travel booking site and if there is an increase of booking that is happening on a particular holiday season, then you can plan this with increased resources of your infrastructure or increased resources of your people, so that you are, all these situations are handled properly, right? So this is offered by API traffic prediction. So it gives you this insight into what's going to happen in future, right? So you can also use this. So there is, again, similarly like anomaly detection, it is also available under Analyze tab of Integration Suite. You can go there and look at the predictions. So we offer this prediction, as I said, filter across up to 90 days. You can also look at the call trends and then use this information to plan and optimize your resources for handling the API calls and how they will behave in the future. Yeah, that's basically the three quick AI capabilities that we have made available as part of the operation excellence. There are a lot more that will be also coming, and this is something that we can talk about as part of the roadmap.
Well, you just briefly showed us a slide that says roadmap, and we know that there's that's the thing. Like you share with us a lot of the current AI capabilities and functionality that there are in the integration suite, right? But the AI space just keeps evolving. It keeps surprising us with new clever functionalities. So yeah, why not? What's in the pipeline? Anything that you can share with us that's in the roadmap regarding functionality in SAP Integration Suite. Can you tell us something about that, Prashant?
Definitely. See, before we get into that, right? So the integration platform as a service or integration suite that we are talking about today is actually has a bigger role to play in AI use cases, because it is actually not one LOB which is using AI, but it can really enable AI use cases. And that's where we have divided into two major sections, our strategy in a way that, okay, section one talks about, which is on the left hand side, and section one talks about how integration suite uses AI, or when we say AI for integration suite, and that's where you have four buckets. We will go through each bucket in a few minutes or in a few seconds now. And the second section is about when we talk about integration suite for AI. And this is actually when we really talk about agents and agent communication, and where and how integration suite as an iPaaS plays a role, right? So in both the sections, we are working on multiple things, right? So for example, in when we talk about AI for integration suite, and we provide a lot of features in integration suite, we talk about developer productivity, we talk about transition time to cloud, where we want to reduce it as much as possible. You would have heard that we want to ask our customers to move to cloud, and that's where this entire section is working on. Then we talk about operation excellence. We have seen some of them, what Vinny has shown just now. And then we also want to provide content around AI and to accelerate the start to value field, right? So when we talk about this developer productivity, you see that we are working on generation of integration flows. We work on all the other artifacts which are generated in integration flow, along with some of the things like XSLT functions and experts, and then enabling all of them also through Joule, right? So we have these bits and pieces available here and there. We want to bring them together into one copilot, which is SAP's Joule. And that is one thing. Once you have developed something, or once you have built something, the next thing, as you were saying, that I want to deploy. But before you deploy, you have to really configure something. And this configuration is sometimes really very difficult. When you have a tenant and it is connected to 20 other systems, and every system has its own configuration, its own parameters, its own values. Um, and sometimes you don't have UCL in your landscape, and sometimes you don't even have any tool to really capture the landscape information. In all such cases, we are working on something like configuration agent, which can really help you configure your scenarios from learning from the landscape data which is there in the tenant, and also learning from your existing integration scenarios if they are already there. So it works in both the cases, in case of a greenfield scenario and in case of a brownfield scenario. But it can really accelerate you to configure your scenarios and deploy them faster. Then we are also working on something like recommendations. As I said when we started the developer productivity section, that we will embed AI in all the features and everywhere where it helps the developers, admins, and any other user who is using it, right? So recommendations for content, recommendation for flow steps, recommendation in B2B integrations, everywhere recommendations will be coming based on our design guidelines, and this will help them really fasten their work. Besides that, if you would have seen a practical examples where you see that a lot of people are working on your integration scenarios and they really miss documentation. So someone really new comes up and looks into those scenarios, may not be able to understand when the integration scenario itself is like hundreds of steps and interacting with multiple systems. In such cases, we are working on something like semantic documentation for APIs and for integration flows and integration scenarios, such that you can really very quickly generate a summary for yourself, which is readable to understand, and also use it later on when you pass on these information or these scenarios to some new colleague who's joining your organization, or maybe later on when once you want to really understand it again if you've forgotten. The other thing which we are looking at, as I said, transition time to cloud, which is a migration story where we actually want to bring proposals for standard content and events which are already available, which could be mapping your existing PIPO artifacts. We are also working on something like converting your custom Java mappings and custom content to the scripts and flow steps in integration suite, wherein we are also extending that, or we'll try to extend that to migration agent, which can assist you from end to end, where you can have your uh, custom Java mappings, custom adapter modules, and everything else what you need for migration will be supported by this agent. Then we move to the operation excellence. As Vinny showed you, script optimization. We want to extend that optimization to integration flow optimization based on the best practices and design guidelines what Integration Suite has. This will really help our developers to bring in something of value in a really very, very short time and of a very good quality. Um, um, then we talk about anomaly detection and volume API volume predictions, wherein you have already seen something that how anomalies are detected. You can really mark some of them as anomaly or not anomaly, but we will continue enhance that use case with new anomalies such as size anomaly, which is coming very soon. Then we are also working on something like healing recommendations or intelligent recommendations, which will be based on contextually based on that scenario, that okay, this anomaly has occurred because of this and this reason, and this is how you can really go ahead and solve this, and then you can quickly go and solve that problem and then fix that. This might even go further where we can really look into integration of Joule and other things where you can just type in and figure out the solutions. But today we are live using the plan. As I said, we want to go into Joule, right? Then we talk about conversation analytics, wherein you have um, okay, I don't know whether my internet connection is unstable. I see some message
Yeah.
in my. Are you able to hear me? I'm in office.
We're able to hear you. We lost you
Uh,
there for maybe like 5 seconds, but we're
okay.
back.
Okay, good. So I hope you understood what what I did not say and what I said, but fine. So conversational analytics is another topic where we are looking into where we want to bring in dynamic charts and graphs for you. Standard graphs and charts are available for you, but in case you want to really extend them and use them later on, you will have that through Joule. We are also working on testing use cases, right? So that's where we are also working on something like which will help you in testing on the fly without doing a lot of efforts. Then from the AI content perspective, we already have a lot of content in Accelerator Hub. We will continuously improve that AI content in Business Accelerator Hub. We have AI adapter for you, and we will also bring AI agents in Business Accelerator Hub. So that is on the side of AI for Integration Suite. When we talk about Integration Suite for AI, we have been working on something which is very soon coming around next year, where we say that, okay, you can have govern access to your MCP endpoints in Developer Hub. You can very quickly convert your existing API proxy into MCP endpoints also with a click of a button, and then use them in your AI use cases. Similarly, we are also working on AI gateway, wherein agent to agent communication, and that's where the second and the last and the second last points are interconnected. We are working on something which can really help agent to agent communication using Integration Suite, wherein we say that we can govern your agent to agent communication through API management, wherein we provide you a gateway which can really authenticate, govern, and control your communications through agents or to agents, right? Both ways. And that's where we are working on gateway. And then we can extend that gateway and agent to agent communication using events as well. So your agents can really consume events, and then those events can trigger another agents and all such kind of things that we are working on. So this is the direction that we are heading, Antonio. I hope I covered it in detail enough that you get some idea around it. If not, you can contact Finny and me to get more details around it.
Yeah, definitely. You did cover a lot of stuff, and we can see that there's a lot of stuff coming, preparing the pipeline for us. Especially excited about the MCP capability, for example, in API management. I can see how, for example, API management takes a whole different role, well, like an extended role now, right? It becomes a lot more critical, for example, in this new AI world that we live in, which is exciting. So I do have we do have a few questions in the chat. So I'll just basically start asking. Funny enough, before we started well, when we started the session, I asked, uh, I threw a poll to the audience, and what they were most interested in learning about today is about connectivity and interacting with LLMs. And the first few questions are actually related to this. I know that you cover bits and pieces, Prashant, but yeah, it would be good to cover a few more. So let's see. So for the AI adapter, can I connect to a custom LLM model like Gemini now or in the future?
Yeah, maybe I can start.
Okay.
So as of
Okay.
now, so we offer with AI adapter, like Prashant mentioned, two options, right? You can connect to Gen AI Hub based large language model, and the other one is the custom large. You can bring your own custom large language model. In the first version, we only support OpenAI, but we are planning to also extend this with additional types of large language models that customers can bring in. So as of now, it is only OpenAI.
Okay. So yeah, so it's a matter of time. You could say that
Yes,
eventually more LLMs will be
added.
included. Yeah. So the second question is, if you can provide some valuable use cases from SAP customers empowering integrations with access to LLMs.
Um, we are still working on a lot of such things, right? So our customers are using it, and we have to really get some feedback around it. But obvious use cases, as I already mentioned, that okay, there are sentiment analysis. So customer triage is one of the very important use case wherein we get into sentiment analysis and then automate everything what we have till the time to really figure out which agent is overloaded and which agent is not overloaded based on the sentiment that we got in the first step, and then do that. Such use cases are there wherein this will help automate a lot of things. But there are use cases wherein we are also getting document attachment, and then there are places where we want to really summarize, not going through entire document but trying to really summarize it. There are use cases where we are looking into enabling RAG use cases, wherein, for example, if you have someone working on supporting some customers, and there you require a real time access to the information, And that's where Integration Suite with AI adapter and other adapters and other features, we are using that for real-time RAG ingestion of data, such that you get the real-time information which you can prepare in few minutes itself and help your customers with um, very reliable solutions based on data. So such use cases are there.
Okay, excellent, excellent. Thank you for clarifying that. Now, I can see that we have a question here regarding one of our favorite activities as integration developers, which is documenting our integration, right? Now, I notice here that, for example, in increased developer productivity, you mentioned semantic documentation. Is this somehow related to that? Can we use some AI functionality to automatically document our integration flows, or that can help us, with that sort of thing?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the whole plan with the semantic documentation. The idea is that this also what we got from a lot of customers as feedback that the flow step, right? Even though we have design guideline that the flow step be named in a way that it is understandable. Similarly, the iFlows, right, when it is very complex, and many iFlows we have seen that which has like 150 to 100 steps that are there. Many times it is very difficult for a new person who is coming in to understand this entire integration flow. And the whole idea of the semantic documentation is that AI will be able to read this entire integration flow and then provide a draft version of the documentation, right? What this integration flow is doing. And then the integration developer can enrich it, extend it, take some screenshots, add some screenshots. So something like that they can do to then create this entire documentation for integration flows, right? It could be at a step level. It could also be at an iFlow level. We also are working with this in the same thing on API specification, right? So when you have APIs, you can also generate open API spec for the APIs that you have, right, with this documentation. So that's what we try to cover with the semantic documentation feature. This is still work in progress, not yet available. This is as part of our roadmap.
Yeah. Just a friendly reminder, things that we're discussing here as part of the roadmap, they can slip and they can be released later than expected.
Yeah.
But at least it's good to know that it's something that, for example, the Integration Suite team is already thinking about, and exciting to see all the innovations that are coming that way. You briefly mentioned APIs again, and we talked about, for example, API anomaly detection. But then obviously then that relies that, for example, everything is exposed via an API object or something like that. But then we know that sometimes some integration flows are not exposed via API management. So is there anything like in the plans maybe regarding anomaly detection or anomaly feature to other capabilities of Integration Suite? So for example, like cloud integration, open connectors, or trading partner management is one of the questions that we have. So are there any plans regarding anomaly detection in those other capabilities?
We are working on a direction wherein we can cover many of the things, but as of now, we have provided anomaly detection on APIs.
Okay.
Once it comes, we will also inform how this is coming up. But work in progress. Let's see how this goes.
Cool. Cool. Well, in the end, your integration flows, obviously you can expose them via API management, right? And
APIs as well. Yes.
so if you already, yeah, and there's a native integration there. So if you already want to keep track of how people are using those integration flows, then definitely just include them there, and you have basically anomaly detection out of the
Yeah.
out of
Yep. Yes.
out of
Yeah, I
the
mean,
box, right? Yeah.
it is a valid feedback because this is also something that we heard from other customers, right?
Yeah.
When we share the anomaly detection, they also say that, okay, why not also for iFlows? Sure, I mean, this is something that is a natural increment, and that's something that we are also looking at. Maybe it's not called anomaly detection, but something like an error resolution for integration flow, something like that. So these are things that we are currently exploring.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, and those are basically all the questions that we have. So yeah, that's it. It was very exciting to have this type of session with this many questions. So it was good having the back and forths with you guys. Really, thank you for delivering this session, right? For sharing your knowledge and expertise as part of this the TOEFL session. I want to also thank all the viewers, either if you attended the session live, like right now, or if you're watching the recording of this, because many end up watching recordings of the TOEFL session. So thank you very much for making it this far. Do know that, for example, in today's session, we talked a bit about script optimization. There is a session following up this one, which is going to be delivered by Morten, who's also part of the former SAP mentor, now part of the Integration Suite product management team. And he's going to talk about how can you future-proof those cloud integration scripts. So do check it out. And just know that obviously this is the TOEFL. There's something for everyone to learn here. We have sessions about all the different development technologies that SAP has. It could be RAP, CAP, AI, more AI, data and analytics, whatever you're interested in. It's very likely that we have sessions about it. So yeah, keep an eye on what's coming. And thank you very much for joining. Thank you, Fini and Prashant.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
Have a
Have a
nice
great
day.
day. Bye-bye.
See ya. Bye-bye.